There's nowhere you could sit in that house and read a book. There are no lights for that sort of thing. All the lighting was soft. All of it was theatrical. It was not a house where I could be comfortable. But it wasn't designed for that. Not everybody would want to live like that. But Jim did. He never had air conditioning, never had screens.
As background music to the dinner, he had arranged for a famous bard singer from the Northeast, the Molam, to come and sing the songs of the Northeast, accompanied by two can players, bamboo pipe can players. It was a memorable evening. I think you have to appreciate that Jim was the center of the social and cultural universe, at least among both the expatriate and the foreign visitors who came to Thailand. He entertained almost every day, either had cocktails or dinner at his house.
At Jim's for drinks, we had something new to crunch on, and that was what came out of the bottom of the great rice pots in the markets. And his cooks had learned to deep fry that and give it a little salt, and it was delicious. Not particularly fattening, but something we'd never tasted before. And almost every night he was telling how it was made and all that to a new group of new friends, and he did it with charm, as he did with other aspects of things, fruits and foods that were new to people and so forth. He never tired of telling very freshly and with enthusiasm pretty much the same story to a new audience. It was optimum for both sides.
We had the red placemats on the table, Thai silk, and the Ming blue and white, which I had just begun to appreciate, and Jim's very soft voice. And all through dinner, we kept time with the click-clack of the weavers across the pond.
The menu was always the same, so it was easy for his cook. Had a beautiful kind of I don't know what it was, bamboo shoot with mayonnaise, entree, and then a curry with rice. It was delicious.
Well, some people will tell you they had the most wonderful food and they ever ate in that house. I would tell you that it was some of the worst food I ever ate. Jim had this idea that you shouldn't spend so much money. He once said that he could entertain 6 people for $5. Now, even in the old days, you couldn't do that very well. And so the food was not one of the great attractions. The great attraction was the company and the surrounding. It did teach me that food wasn't really important. It was more important to have atmosphere.
It was very, very special. So something that you certainly wouldn't find anywhere else in Bangkok at that time, or even today.
Jim was definitely a ladies' man, but he was a rather odd ladies' man in a way. Perhaps because his own marriage had failed. All the women he had affairs with were married, safely married. Several of them, I believe, were quite willing to leave their husbands, but then he backed off. So he didn't want marriage, but he certainly liked women.
Jim and Connie Manskow, who was, with him when he disappeared, on the same trip to Malaysia. Jim went on his usual walk looking for wild orchids. Jim loved to collect orchids when he went into the jungle. And I think he just got careless and he wandered off the path. No one ever found even a button or a buckle or a scrap of cloth.
Jim disappeared on Easter Day, 1967. Headlines in the newspapers, of course, lots of telephone calls coming into the company. We were all very, very deeply concerned. But all of us believed he would come walking out of the jungle. So there was always the feeling that he would come back. And I think this went on even months and months. We just thought he would come.
Jim's disappearance was a mystery and remains a mystery. There is no factual evidence, no factual basis that could prove any of the many theories that have been advanced.
I think his greatest contribution to Thailand, I think Jim's greatest contribution to Thailand was the revival of the Thai silk business as an export product, and to make it popular again among well-to-do Thais who had almost completely stopped using it. And he also made it well known all over the world, almost single-handedly. Of course, soon there were a lot of other companies that were also making Thai silk, and he was not the only one. I think by the time he disappeared, there were 50 companies in Thailand, but he began it.
He made the Thais aware of their heritage. He left that. He built that wonderful house when people were giving bits of Thai houses away. He left an appreciation of Thai silk as soon as he created this magnificent work of art, really. A lot of people developed Thai silk after that. And he also developed an interest in Thai art, along with Chinese art, with Asian art, I should say. And I think that too sparked interest. His legacy is a cultural one. And whether it's appreciated or not today, I don't know, but he certainly started the ball rolling.
The legacy of Jim Thompson today is seen through his collection of objets d'art from principally Thailand and Southeast Asia. And his legacy is also expressed in the vibrant colors and designs of Thai silk, so much an international brand throughout the world. What Jim did, of course, was to bring that industry through his silk company to international appreciation and understanding. And that is a legacy that certainly is important in terms of what Jim did to popularize Thai silk throughout the world.
I think we've been extremely lucky. The years after Jim disappeared, the tourists continued to come to Thailand. In fact, the tourists came more and more to Thailand. The Germans started coming to Thailand. And after the Germans, the Japanese. And the Japanese spent even more than the previous tourists did, and certainly more than the Germans did. So we were very, very lucky to be riding this wave of increasing tourism in Thailand. Jim's legacy, I think you must start with his house. That's the beginning. I think that I would say must be his love. The company, of course, I think the house did not bring him any heartaches. I think the company, in many instances, broke his heart. It was mended, but I think this house always gave him great comfort and a source of great pride for Jim. His legacy is in the house, in the foundation. Well, okay, Jim didn't have anything to do with the foundation, but inadvertently he did because his family left the house to the foundation, the Thai Foundation. In the business, I think we can say there are 3,000 heirs to the company at this time. We have 3,000 employees, so certainly that is a representation of what Jim has established. The name, the brand name is world-renowned, I think, for quality, design, and I think that is something that Jim certainly started and we try to guard and protect to this day.
And I often think about if Jim Thompson's idea was to bring some industry to Thailand and do something that interested him, I really doubt that he could have ever dreamed how far everything would go and how many hundreds of thousands of people are involved in it, because it was so much smaller then that it's kind of hard to imagine just how successful and how big it would all become. It's really a mystery to me how the elephant has been so important. And I've been here 28 years, and that elephant that was here when I arrived is still here and selling. And we had so much success with other elephant designs that I thought perhaps it was just animals. So we started doing monkeys and giraffes and horses and dogs and cats and anything we could think of. Nothing had any appeal but the elephants. But it didn't matter whether it was the backside of the head or upside down. However you did elephants, as long as the tusk was turned up, was the charm. And it was true before my time, and I guess it's going to be true long after I'm gone. There is a charm here to an elephant. Jim Thompson's idea for starting this company was that it really was something he wanted to do and felt very passionate about. But at the same time, he thought it was something for the country and that it would give employment to a large group of people. And I think he was thinking in the hundreds as being a large group. And I think the first thing that would impress him today was the scale of the operation and how many people are getting a livelihood from this, and how it wasn't just the Thai Silk Company, but it went to so many other companies, making the export of Thai silk a major thing today. As I just don't think he would have thought it could get this big.
2006 marks Jim Thompson's 100th anniversary, and his legacy endures. Today, the Thai Silk Company he founded continues to produce handmade silk. Hundreds of weavers work at their looms, following a tradition of centuries, creating woven silk often based on traditional patterns. The Thai Silk Company also produces machine-made, high-quality fabrics, incorporating modern designs, as well as those representing the spirit of Thailand. Notably the elephant, a hallmark of Jim Thompson. Every year, the foundation established in Jim Thompson's name welcomes more than 170,000 visitors to the Jim Thompson House, a national museum and a part of Thailand's rich cultural heritage.
So let us all raise our glasses and our voices and welcome Jim back with a traditional cheer of Chayo! Chayo! Chayo!
The legacy of Jim Thompson lives on.
ชวนช